Hi guys. Sorry for the craziness that has been this afternoon. um I am sorry it's took me so long to get on and say hi to everyone. Um I'm not really sure. I'm having a lot of technical difficulties tonight, and I am not sure why and what's happening. But let me know if you guys are hearing me and seeing me loud and clear. That way I know what I got going on. Um, with the stream. For some reason, I'm noticing that you cannot see my camera. I'm not really sure what's going on. I have refixed this about 15, 16 times, so we may just be having a live stream with me not in front of the camera. If I can figure out what's going on, I'll fix it while we're on the stream. But I almost literally like 2 seconds before the 8 o'clock rolled around, I almost just skipped doing this because I've been messing around with backdrop and um my camera for so long now that I'm kind of over it. It keeps glitching out and closing. Hopefully, maybe for Christmas, Santa will bring me a better camera system or something. I don't know. Um, Hopefully, we can hope. As we speak, I am trying to work out the kinks to see if I get the camera to come back on. I can't guarantee anything, guys, right now, because it's glitched out for some reason. So I'll mess with it a couple more minutes, and if it doesn't work out, we will just go to what we used to do a long time ago, and you guys will just get my beautiful sounding voice on 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 camera. I don't know if Streamlabs is just a pain or I don't know how to use it right, but I quite literally struggle with this thing more than I really should. I'm trying to see what I can do, guys. I honestly think it's just glitched out. Mm. Plus, I don't to mention I have a terrible migraine. It's been a really rough week at work. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I can't seem to catch a break on just being able to do YouTube without being harassed and stuff. So I don't know. How are you guys? Just leave comments below. Let's chat for a little bit so we can spend something fun during the live stream other than me trying to figure out what's wrong with my computer. And I can't I'm gonna try to read the chat as much as I can. Oh, it's sad. We got like 20 people in the watching, and I have nothing going on but me fussing with my computer. Mm. So how's everybody's work week been so far? I hope I hope it's not been too terrible. Ooh, how was everybody's Halloween? I didn't think to ask that one. How has everyone's Halloween been? Hopefully exciting. I think I might have fixed it. I'm not sure. I think we're on. I don't know, maybe. If it does pop up and you can see the screen, just let me know. Cause at this point I'm about to give up, guys. Um I got a ghost attacking me, so it's very windy outside. I will just go ahead and say that real quick. It's very windy. Um I'm trying to set my microphone down so without dropping it, but also just don't want it pushing 500 pictures on my screen. Alright, hopefully we're on. Okay, good. Good. I about nearly lost my mind several times over this. I am not really computer savvy like I was when I was younger. When I was younger, I was very good at computers, very good at what I like to do. But I also had more time. I wasn't married. I also didn't have kids. And when I first started YouTubing, I seemed to have more of a support system than I do now. So it's like everybody wants me to do my YouTube work, but nobody actually wants to help me get it done. I had some ideas for tonight. I'm hopefully everybody's still watching and still going strong with the live stream and not like, okay, this is just ridiculous and I'm leaving y'all. Um, but I wanted to play a couple of horror games. I wanted to read some stories and just have a good night. Hopefully, my migraine permitting, my eyeballs are squinting. I can do this. I can do this. Which reminds me, I don't know if I got to read the chat. How was y'all's Halloween? Um, Lord Lord Bite Me Man says Halloween was great. My kid cleaned up her on her candy haul. My kids actually did too. I was actually shocked. We went to like a big Halloween in the square and we went to Halloween in the park. I really thought they would have gotten more candy because in years past, pre-COVID, I think it was pre-COVID, yeah, pre-COVID, my kids used to go to things like this and I would have to like empty their buckets into a bigger bag. And now it's more, luckily they filled their buckets, so they were excited about that. But I mean, I was hoping for just a little bit more because I wanted to eat some of the candy. You know, I mean, I did have to drive them, I did have to dress them, put their makeup on. Felt like I should have got paid more for it. Just my opinion. Um, Kyle says my kids made off like bandits. Ugh. Ugh. Good. I am glad to hear that. But how was the adults' Halloween? Like, we always talk about our kids, how they did, how great it was. How was your Halloween? Like, for me, not only did I have fun doing this with my kids, but also during Halloween, we had a Halloween party and we did a lot of fun things to make the Halloween better. Got to dress up at work. Lakota even dressed up as a hippie dog. Next year we'll have a surprise, me and him, for work purposes, costumes. And I'm hoping by next year I'll have, which I've noticed you guys have been, a lot of people commenting, have been leaving comments like calling me um goddess. And hopefully next year we will have a full costume for the channel and not just partially mixing together costumes. So we're hoping for that. Um take it as a victory. I guess so. If the kids are happy, that's all that matters. Oh, Todd, no surgeries on holidays. Doctors need to think about that. I am not hitting the clearance aisle. Have you seen the moms that hit that candy clearance aisle the day or two after Halloween? Well, it's usually the day. You go 2 days after Halloween, you're not getting nothing. But those moms get like football players. They're just like Blue 42, knocking people down, small children. I mean, they're violent and talking about getting the leftover costumes and. Mm-mm. I did wish I would have went to Spirit Halloween store because I was wondering maybe if the day after Halloween when they open up, if maybe they have like cool things. Maybe next year. Anyway. Oh my god, Lord bite me, man. You went as Condom Man? Be like, Trojan Man. Sorry, I had to. I had to do it. Um, that's very concerning. Evil that your child went and wreaked havoc. Um, I'm lucky. I guess my kids are still the ages where they like me around. And maybe due to divorce and stuff like that, that's why I'm kept around more. I don't know. My kids are like, I wanted to opt out sort of for Halloween and let them have a little more free reign to do stuff, but I was told that we're like a family and we have to like do things like dress up and like do stuff. Yeah. So I like dressed up and did stuff. Yeah. Hey Becky, how are you? Ooh, I meant to ask you guys. Okay, talking about specifically horror films, I have been watching horror films and I'm fixing to sit down and do some movie reviews. I know Halloween's over with, but for, us content creators, Halloween is every day. Um, any new Halloween movies you guys have watched that we shall discuss? Me, I watched Barbarian. Not gonna say too much because you may have not watched it yet. And I'm gonna do a movie review on it, but WTF, what the WTH did I watch? We'll keep it clean so YouTube doesn't like freaking binge watch The Haunting of Hill House. I tried to watch that again. I guess because I've already seen it, it's kind of struggle busing to watch it yet again. But I'm trying to think. I will say the same thing, Kyle. I have watched more horror movies in the last month than I have in forever. And bear with me, if I keep grabbing the back of my neck, my head is hurting so bad that I'm trying to be a human being at this point. I just have to say that. Um, the Hellraiser was awesome. Kyle. I'm so glad you brought that up. I got to watch it. Was the day after? The day after? I know somewhere in there. I watched it, and I've seen it twice now. And I will say I really enjoyed that. I think I'm going to do a movie review on that one too because I really honestly enjoyed it. I liked, the only thing I will say is not spoiler until I do a review, is I did like that I feel like there might be more to come. That is amazing feeling to know that there might be more to come. Fingers crossed. I hope so. I hope there's more to come. I'm trying to think. I want to see Smile. I wonder if it's on Amazon Prime. Um, what have you not watched, Evil? Barbarian or Hellraiser? Sorry. I had to borrow my daughter's phone to read the chat because my work phone is missing. So I'm sorry. The camera, there we go, is a little bit brighter than I wanted it to be. Um, I hate the fact that this. Oh gosh, I'm gonna be honest. Is it what's his name? Justin Long. I've been a kind of a fan of his since Jeepers Creepers, but I will have to say I seen a meme and I completely agree with it. If he's in a movie, you know he's not gonna live. I'm just gonna say that. It's just that the type of roles he plays. He's either not gonna live or it's gonna be something horrific. One of the two. I haven't seen Halloween Ends either. I had a friend that went and watched it in theaters. Didn't give a promising review of it. So I'm like, but maybe because she just didn't, she doesn't like horror films. So I'm trying to think of some horror movies. I watch horror movies and then I can't remember to bring it up on the live stream what I watched. I don't know why, but my camera shows that it's not very bright doing the live stream, but my computer screen shows it as hella bright. We're just gonna leave it. Okay, guys. So should we start off since we've had some struggle busing to get this live stream started, I thought we might start off with movie trivia horror version. I thought we'd start with that. I'm sorry for the theatrics. That's just my nature. Apparently pinned a lot of horror stories that I want to do. So this is movie trivia, horror movie edition. So I'm going to start off and we're going to test your movie knowledge. It does not have the answers. You just have to know if you're right. So, we'll start off. Do you like scary movies? Sorry, I had to. Do you like scary movies? What's your favorite scary... Oh, that's a good pickup line. What's your favorite scary movie before we start this trivia? Let me turn the brightness down on my phone. My battery is dying. Let's see. I can watch Halloween Ends on Peacock for free. And Becky, you sing Barbarian and it freaked you out. I'm so glad that you said that because it freaked me out. Sorry, my ghost keeps landing on my microphone. Your favorite horror movie is your life. You know, sometimes I can kind of agree with that on me. Sometimes my life scares me. Hold on a second. Somebody commented on one of my stuff and it said stolen on YouTube. And okay, open. What did somebody commented on? Okay, sorry. I'm getting some random YouTube comments that make no sense what they're saying it will be to. I will never stay at Airbnb. I agree. I literally had been looking at Airbnbs and now I'm like, no. So I'm kind of wondering now how many Airbnbs might have like a bad time booking rooms now or booking the B&B because of this. I'm very curious. Like, thanks, Barbarian. You did to the Airbnbs what Jaws did to the ocean. Thanks. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the first question. Are you listening? Okay. Tony Todd is known for playing what character in this horror trilogy? And if you don't know the answers to some of these, you're not a real horror fan. Alright, hit me with it, guys. Hit me with it. What is the answer to this? I'm waiting. Quit trying to attack me, Ghostface. Get your own movie. Oh, wait, you already got one. Haha. Anyway. Is Becky right? Is it Candyman? Come on, you guys. There are 12 of you watching. Wait. Well, it says 12 in the chat. And 15 watching. So the 15 watching, or the 12 that's in the chat, what's the answer? Is it? Are you guys sure? Are you willing to stake your lives on it? Yeah, it really is. Sorry. I had to be goofy. Makes things more fun. Alright, the next question. Who's considered to be Hollywood's first scream queen? Halloween's first scream queen. I know the answer. Actually, they don't have the answers, but I'm... Quit it. I know the answer. Seriously. Who's the first Scream Queen? And I'll give you a hint. It's not a narrator. Is Becky correct? Or is Lord Bite Me Man correct? I will tell you, if you're ready, it's Jamie Lee Curtis. But Janet Leigh, isn't Janet Leigh her mother? Alright, well, let's go to the next question. In which movie did the mispronounce... Loud car, shut it. In which movie did the mispronouncing of Klaatu Barada Niktu results in a dead-eyed attack? Come on, answer. I know the answer. It's one of my favorite movies. I'm getting nervous. It's one of my favorite movies, you guys. One of my favorites. Oh, my phone's dying quickly. Oop. Is it Army of Darkness? Is it? Yeah, it's Army of Darkness. It's one of my favorite movies, by the way. What's the curse object in the 2009 movie, which also has Justin Long in it, Drag Me to Hell? The curse object in the 2009 movie, Drag Me to Hell. A book, a knife, a cross, a button, or a postcard. Doody 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 doo. I also know the answer to this too. I've seen this movie more than I should have seen it. Which, and you guys better not be Googling this. Better not be Googling it. You better be like, literally know this movie's questions. Or I'll pout. Is it a button? Are you sure? Sure? Going once? Going twice? Yeah, it's a button. Alright, one more question off of this game. And then we'll read a story if you guys are up for it. Not to offend any zombies, but this one is a no-brainer. Who was the killer in the Friday the 13th 1980s? Yes, PA, that movie was ridiculous. Very ridiculous. The guy licking the envelope. I remember that woman was freaking gross. What was Sam Raimi thinking? Never mind, it's Sam Raimi. Anyway, I'm trying to think. Is Lord Bite Me Man an evil outcast and Becky right? Is it Pamela Voorhees? Jason's mom? I don't know why. I'm going to say this why I fixing to answer it. I always think of Scream, the very first Scream movie. Because she answers with, um, Jason, it's Jason. He's like, wrong answer. And she's like, I've seen that movie 100 freaking times. And he's like, well, then you should know that Jason wasn't the killer until the second movie. Pamela Voorhees, Jason's mom, was the killer in the first movie. And I was just always like, because I knew the answer, and when she answered, I went, so right there, it made me go, hmm. All right, guys, do you want to read a story? Read a short horror story, not like short 2 sentences or a little paragraph. I mean, like actual story that might go for 10 minutes. I'm sorry for the rocking. I get real nervous. I had pizza for dinner, so my stomach's hurting, my head's hurting, and I'm like, this wasn't well thought out. Work made me get a migraine, and pizza made my stomach upset. Yay. Lord, bite me, man. He gets the mask in 3, and hockey fan in me is very proud. I would be too. All right, let me find a good story. I have a gremlins tapping at the door. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to find a good story to do. No. No, I can see you. Alright, let's just do this one. This is a creepy pasta entitled The Polaroid Camera. Tara slammed the taxi door behind her with one hand and used the other to pull the raincoat's collar tight against her neck from sharp, slanted drizzle. She found herself checking for the camera, dangling by its worn striped strap in that scramble for cover. She might have brought a tote or a backpack to protect from the weather at least, she thought, but was riding on impulse and not wanting to think too hard about what she was here to do. Her boyfriend didn't believe her. Her parents didn't believe her. The specialists at the rehabilitation center wouldn't have believed her if she had mustered up the courage to ask honest questions. So here Tara was, at a visitor's check-in, feeling the weight of embarrassing plan. Oof. Something was making Grandma sicker, fast. Just a few short weeks ago, she was cracking wise jokes, eating desserts like a delicate queen in her royal bedchamber, and slyly turning her shiny dark eyes to share a secret look with Tara when Dad did not. Oh my gosh, hold on a second. This writing is hurting my eyeballs. The memory made Tara's eyes sting. She wiped it away and ignored how prickly red hot her face felt, picking up her stride to reach elevator doors before they closed. Tara knew what it must look like to everyone. Poor Tara was losing her beloved grandma and couldn't cope. Poor Tara was struggling with the idea Grandma might not make it out of recovery, and was looking for anyone to blame. Grandma stopped talking, and poor Tara took it personally. Her parents whispered words like deteriorating when they thought she couldn't hear. Her boyfriend was losing patience for being emotional support. But they were wrong. Something was more wrong than natural. Grandma seemed beyond just exhausted, drained, dying in a million unreachable miles away medication fog. She looked terror-stricken. She almost sneezed. Terror shared a tight smile with the nurse's station while turning down the next hall. She needed to get her head straight, ignore the smell of the stale urine and noxious cherry-scented cleaner. A quick doubt checked A quick double check to make sure the hall was as clear as she thought suddenly it might. It made her hands clammy and her heart pound. The door was in reach. Tara wilted with shame. What was she expecting to happen? A quiet press up to the door gave no signs Grandma was awake just yet. No TV hum, no nurse making futile small talk. The plan was not a well thought out one by any means. Leaping into the room, camera blazing, would scare the absolute crap out of Grandma. But so what? Tara recoiled, ashamed at the thought. Was she desperate of any sort of reaction from the old woman at this point, even at her expense? She did care, she thought. She was doing this for Grandma. Care enough to call off work, to sneak into Dad's study, to steal his Polaroid, to purchase discontinued film for it, to be shaking now, to be here at the door. It was time. Tara's grip tightened on the camera, held close to her chest, lens aimed high. She wiped the sweaty palm on her knees of her corduroys before grabbing the knob. 1, 2, 3. Door was flung open with more force than intended. She was scared enough to close her eyes tight without meaning to. Click, click, click. Press. Shot printed. The door hit the jamb behind it loudly. Click, click, click. The first Polaroid fluttered to the floor. The second soon followed. The flash was intense. Tara heard a soft grasp from the bed. Click, click. The vibrating door slowly bounced back from impact, striking Tara's elbow just right, and it was then her turn to gasp. She dropped the camera as it spit the last photo to the floor, clutching sharp pain instead. Crap! She opened her eyes to meet Grandma's bewildered gaze, who was sitting up in bed, slack-jawed, silence, standing there in the doorway, sheepish and quiet, and feeling the urge to hide at any evidence. Sorry, I'm sorry, I sorry, I scare you, Grandma. Tara rushed to the bed to sit beside the old woman, gripping her neck in embrace. The tears came shortly after when there was no move to return it. Not unusual for her grandma these days. Tara pulled back to wipe tears that dribble from her nose, but instead was startled to be met with intensity. With her hand still on the woman's shoulders, Tara watched as those coal eyes slowly trailed to the ceiling, lips parted in a perfect O shape. Tara's eyes followed to join them. Nothing. Foam tiles on the ceiling. A gray water stain long dried, dampened and dried again. The couple lies dead in their light fixtured tomb. Tara exhaled, looking back at the woman's face, and its soft, familiar smile lines around eyes that did not lower again. Unblinking, both women sat in their separate worlds for a few moments. The unbroken stare eventually made Tara retreat uncomfortably, releasing the shoulders she realized were probably clenched a little too hard for a hug. Feeling immensely embarrassed at the sight of the photos scattered on the floor, she set to work at cleaning them up. What if there had been a nurse in there after all? I'm such an idiot. The thought almost made her laugh, while struggling to thumb the corner of the first photo off the floor. It was 50% occupied by part of her own finger. Sorry, ma'am, just testing a theory. She did laugh then. How would she have explained any of this to another person without seeming unhinged? They would have jumped out of their skin at her barging in. The next Polaroid tossed in the bin was the blur and bad lighting. Pardon me, nurse, I'm cracking and no one seems to notice or care. Tara froze then, felt on the cold tile. She suddenly reached for the corner of the bed's metal frame for support to stand. Holding on too tight, way too tight, The mic's on. Please don't tell me I just read a whole story and the mic is out. According to this, the mic's on. It's playing. It's got sound. Um, I don't know. The mic's on. Can you guys hear now? When did the sound go out? Because the red light's been on the microphone the whole time. The computer says it's been working. Towards the end, that might literally be almost the whole story if it was like the 2 or 3 minutes. God, I don't want to read the story again because I don't know where the sound cut out. What was the last thing you heard on the story? Like, what was the last thing that was heard before uh, the sound cut out? I took something for a migraine and it's still not helping. I'm waiting for it to pick up. There was an orderly in the room testing a theory or something. Okay. My phone is about to die, guys, so I don't know how much more I can do. Let me see where we're at. There we go. Testing a theory. Sorry. Okay, the last thing, if this is where you guys heard it. Sorry, ma'am. Just testing a theory. She did laugh then. How would she have explained any of this to another person without seeming unhinged? They would have jumped out of their skin or at her barging in. The next Polaroid tossed in the bin was all blur and bad lighting. Pardon me, nurse. I'm cracking and no one seems to care. Tara froze then, knelt on the cold tile. She suddenly reached for the corner of the bed's metal frame for support to stand, holding on too tight, way too tight, knuckles white, and the other a final developing picture. Stole a look at the old woman, limp, quivering, small in her hospital gown, mouth open, eyes fixed and watering now. She looked like a hungry baby bird shooting desperate glances from Tara to the ceiling. Tara to the ceiling. Tara back to the ceiling again. She didn't want to look, didn't want to know any more than she already did. No, she thought, ripping away from the bed to look up, in time to see a long, filthy trail of hair sliding back into the darkness of the above, like so many creatures' pelts. No, she willed, watching the ceiling tile slide back into place by a set of two long, too many fingered hands that had just been deep in Grandma's throat, leaving fresh, wet stains as they went. Okay. What do you guys think of that story? I'm just going to say that I don't ever plan on going to the hospital anytime soon. I think that's a nope, 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 and nope for me. Nope. 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 I may have to read the chat here. If my phone goes off, guys, we're going to have to do something else. Number 10. Burger King foot lettuce. Sorry, I just for some reason I hear number 10. Burger King foot lettuce. The last thing that you would want in your sandwich, sorry, is somebody's foot fungus. Oh. I don't know if I'm going to be visiting a hospital anytime soon, guys. This is pretty creepy. Pretty creepy. Alright, we read a story. I don't know. I might have enough time to read another one before my phone cuts out. Bear with me. I might have enough time to read another one. Let me see if I can find one that's not too long. Let's try this one. How long is this one? My phone's gonna cut out. I just know it. Okay, my phone's gonna cut out probably before I can start reading a good story. So we're gonna play some more of another game. Give me a second. We played this last week for everybody that showed up to the stream last week. Um, it's uh would you rather questions. I won't ask the same questions for last week. But I gotta remember where we were at last week so I don't pick up from the same questions. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Would you rather piss off Maleficent or the Wicked Witch of the West? I'm gonna say the Wicked Witch of the West. I would rather piss her off than Maleficent because my phone just died. I would say Maleficent. That would be my choice to piss off first. Because, not Maleficent, I mean the Wicked Witch of the West. Because Maleficent is somebody I don't know if I would want to mess with just based on the movies I've seen of her. But, the Wicked Witch seems like somebody I could drop a house on. Yeah. Yeah. Man, somebody's like shooting a lot of stuff this late at night. Either Bambi just got shot 500 times or somebody's an idiot or a very bad shot. Um, it looks like somebody's saying. What was that sound? That literally sounded like a person making like weird noises. Must be Kevin's been drinking again. Bad Kevin, bad. Alright, I'm trying to think of some would you rather questions I can ask without the game. Hmm. What are some ideas? Do you guys have some would you rather questions? I can't really see the chat very well, so we're kind of in a predicament here. And my nose is running. I'm not being very ladylike, scratching my nose. I wonder if I can stay on Streamlabs and still head over to YouTube and see if I can. Oh, there we go. I think I see the chat partially. Um, I don't think it was a frog. It was something else that I heard. I can sort of see the difference between a frog and my crazy neighbor. But what are some ideas, guys, for would you rather? Hmm? Oh, maybe since we can't do would you rather because my phone just died. Stupid phone. What are some personal experiences that you have had paranormal speaking? I'm interested in this question. I always like asking people because I feel like, and in some ways, if you like horror or you're very intrigued by mystery, that that would be a question. And I really think my neighbors next door have been drinking because you can hear a lot of racket next door. Ugh. Okay, I can't see the chat. Be right back. Gonna take the dog out. Okay, it's cool. Oh, would you rather eat dinner at Leatherface's house or Headbutt Pinhead? Both are so equally terrible. I'm not gonna say, I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know how if I can answer that one. That they're both equally terrible. 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 My camera's frozen. It's like I'm trying to see what's going on with it. Anyway, both are equally terrible. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. um, okay, I wouldn't mind seeing that, Becky. You just shoot it over to me on Twitter or Instagram, either one. Let's see. Oh, anyway, back to the question I was going to ask you guys. Is I sort of feel like if you really like horror and you're into horror, that you at least had one experience of paranormal. So my question is, what is? Oh my gosh! Apparently we're gonna have storms or something because the wind is something atrocious. I literally had a whole area set up to do a live stream, and the wind destroyed it within 30 minutes of it. I'm just gonna say it like that, 30 minutes, and it was destroyed. So yeah, it's been a rough week. I feel like this week should have been a full moon with a Friday the 13th and mixed in. Do we have a Friday the 13th this month? Please don't have a Friday the 13th month. Um, yeah, it's been a rough. There's you something paranormal. Every time I go to live stream, some crazy crap happens. Whether it's wind, voices, people stalking me in a playground, and later finding out somebody was actually murdered at said playground a couple days later. Um, and I was in that playground the night that somebody else was murdered. Um, it's ugh, tired of it. And for some reason, my lighting, I have a lighting on my app, and the lighting's stuck on the screen. Guys, it has been a rough afternoon, but I really enjoyed this live stream so far. So I'm just gonna say that next week I'm gonna have things more planned out. This was literally, I hate to say it, with me working on Monday through Friday, things are so complicated and so crazy that it's just not even funny. And this week we were so short staffed that um it was pretty rough. It was pretty rough. Um I will agree, Lord Bite Me Man. The normal is pretty rough. There's some days. Yeah. But I will tell you one thing, here's something paranormal. Where I work, I never really noticed, but sometimes we have to work on weekends. So that usually means we will be working by ourselves. And I have went into the clinic to take care of patients and heard, strange noises. Didn't think nothing about it because, I'm kind of a nervous goofer. So didn't think nothing about it until, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. I went in and I don't know how to explain it. Like, I just felt a weird presence, but, I never think about that because I just figured. And I went back and started working with the patients, and I heard like a door slam. And my heart stopped because the first thing I thought was maybe the front door didn't catch and somebody was in there. And so I stuck my head out and I'm looking around and I hear something that sounds like somebody walking in the hallway of the clinic. And my heart again is like stopped. It's frozen because again, I'm alone. I'm wondering if somebody's in the clinic with me. And I hear giggles. like a child. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't have thought anything of it if somebody would come with me, but I was completely all alone. And I noped my way back in there where the patients were and started just carrying on. And I literally seen the door open, like to come back in where the patients are at. The door open, halfway open, and it's like on a hinge. So it opens up and then just falls back and closes. And I was like, okay, I think everybody's taken care of it. I left, which we have to go on weekends twice a day. So I come back that afternoon and I take my oldest daughter with me because I'm so scared at this point to go back, you know. And both of us are back there working, taking care of the patients to get done. We go out. I'm like, okay, this is the last day before the work week starts. So I'm going to go in there and, stock everything up, put, gauze out and needles and everything. And I hear the giggles again from the same hallway. And at this point, I'm not saying anything. I'm just going to keep working. I'm not going to think about anything. I'm not going to mention that I heard it. I'm just going to ignore it. And I just look over and my daughter's eyes are going, and I'm like, what? And she's like, did you hear that? And I was like, what? I knew I heard it, but there's somebody giggling in the hallway. And I was like, okay, so we go to the hallway, and you can go the hallway or you can go up through where the front desk is and look at the hallway. So we went through the front desk and we're standing there, and I literally thought for a second I saw somebody. I didn't say nothing, and I hear the giggle and my name. And I was like, okay, I think we're done. I mean, we just literally left. And again, I'm not thinking nothing about that creepiness right there until the next day. Another coworker had worked on Saturday and I had worked on Sunday. And she said she had heard a giggle from the same hallway and just left. And I was like, what? And so that's literally not the first thing. Like today, we were standing there and a whole picture just literally flew off the wall. And we were all like, not today, Satan. Not today. And I would just literally went into a room and started, talking to a patient. I was like, nope, nope. Um, am I insane or is that a face where? Where? Like in a picture that you sent me or like standing behind me? Because that's really not funny. That made my heart palpitate really bad. Huh, 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 huh. It's kind of freaking me out there, huh? Um, anyway, um, you're a trooper, Lily. Sometimes I wonder. Of course, it gives me great stories. Um, yes, in the picture you sent me, right? Not behind me, in the picture you sent me. Because I haven't looked yet. I've never had an experience I can completely. It's paranormal. One weird thing with a witch. One thing with been a ghost. I don't know. Oh, I'm joking about the clinic. No, I am totally not joking. And there is literally other people that can has seen the same things I've seen. So it's literally, I'm not joking. It's stuff that has happened. There's also, I mean, again, working at an animal clinic, we've seen like a cat run by and that there was no cat there. Or we've heard a dog bark and there was no dogs there at that moment. So yeah, there's been some really weird things that have happened. Um, not really joking. I'm solely serious. Okay, the picture you sent. Okay, I feel better. I am sitting outside, my back to the yard behind me, so just hearing face, I was like, guys, we're ending this stream right now. Peace and out. Um, um okay, you're talking to Becky. Okay, I've two heart attacks in a 5-minute period. We're having a good time. good time, no alcohol required. But yeah, the clinic has had some strange things happen. I'm gonna be honest, in the last 2 months of my urban exploring slash ghost adventuring escapades, I have had more weird things happen to me that I care to think about. I mean, like for example, the live stream that I did where I was at the abandoned playground, walking in through this wooded area was creepy enough. Going into the playground was creepy enough because there's no light. The only light was from my light ring and the light flashlight I had on my phone. And I'm sitting there and I heard people moving around in the tree lines. I heard splashing at the creek behind me. I heard something running up behind me, and I couldn't really see anything behind me, to the side of me, and really even in front of me. Um, it ended up like before the live stream even started, I seen a car pull up, pull next to my car, stare at me, stare back at my car, and drive off. So that already creeped me out. But then going into the playground was horrifying because I heard things all around me and I was like, "Oh, it's just animals. It's just animals." Um, get to the swing, like the playground area, sit on the swings, and I'm hearing something running behind me. I'm hearing something that's like smacking the trees. I heard a loud in the creek down below behind me. And meanwhile, I cannot see nothing around me. Cannot see behind me, cannot see the side of me. Can only see like a circle around me from the ring light. And my neighbors are home now. Wonderful. Or one of them's home and didn't think nothing about it. I mean, I heard weird sounds, I heard moaning, I heard people talking. I think I even heard a couple of screams. And, ended up the live stream got cut short for reasons. And I get home and I'm like, I'm gonna go back during the daytime and get some pictures. And walking through the same walking trail that I walked through before, I found boxes of what appeared to be like dead animals, intentionally killed, mind you. Got into the playground and there's like caution tape up. Walked down to the creek and there's plastic body looking bags. Um, the trees that I heard getting smacked were folded down, like they were like those little flimsy trees got folded down. Um, there was a body looking shaped thing hanging from a tree. And come to find out, like I was at the playground and a police officer pulled up and walked out there and was like, "What are you doing out here?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm just, I'm a vlogger, YouTuber, and I just come out here to walk around and get some pictures and I don't know, just, he's like, somebody was murdered a couple of nights ago around here." And I was like, "How many nights ago?" And he was like, "I don't know, like two or 3 days ago." And I was like, "Friday night?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, and I left it there because I didn't really want to tell the police officer I had been out there. And he looked over at me. He's like, "Yeah, it was sometime around 8 or 9, and I had probably just left about that time." So that's case one. Then I was exploring and found Crybaby Bridge or Matheny's Bridge. And in that area is a walking trail, Matheny's Bridge, and where Matheny is buried, like a cemetery and a church. Did not know nothing about these three places and went out there. Now it was broad daylight this time, so in all fairness, it was exciting. Like I walked over to Matheny's Bridge. I walked around because it's high up. I walked down as far as I could because I wasn't in hiking clothes, and I was like noticing how creepy it was. I wanted to come back. I was starting to drive back and seeing the church and braked suddenly and turned into the church. And that was on a Saturday, I think. I went back to work Monday and was talking to a coworker, and she was like, "Matheny's Bridge, Crybaby Bridge." And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Did you go anywhere after dark?" And I was like, "No, but I had planned on going back for a live stream." And she's like, "No." She's like, "You do not go to Crybaby Bridge after dark. People get murdered." She's like, "Do you know about the story of Crybaby Bridge? Why it's called Crybaby Bridge?" And she went to, which I guess I could do a video on that. She went to like a whole story about it. And I was like, and then she got to the church I went to, which you use if on my channel there's a short video of the church. The church, the story there's a story about the church and how haunted it is and how about the cemetery, and then there's a path that I walked that had a lot of like weird memorabilia, like clothes, lights, bonfires, what look like weapons. That path goes back to the caves, and people have been found dead in those caves. So I'm just gonna be honest, the vibe I picked up from these areas is probably that. It was creepy as anything. The cemetery that I went and visited for a split second, the the way she took me, I'm just not gonna be honest, it was after dark, it was late, it was like 10, 11 o'clock ish. And we drove back roads, flying one lane road, get to it, and you can see like it's woods and like a little weird makeshift stairs out of stone and dirt. And I don't know what else goes into that. And you're supposed to go in there, and there's just like 5 or 6 headstones, and they're supposed to be demonic, I think is what I was told. So yeah, this is some of the stuff I've been up to recently, trying to bring cool content, only for everybody to tell me, "Oh my gosh, Lily, bad, bad, dangerous, bad. Get yourself a taser, gun, both. Did you go with both? One, something other than stupidity and two brain cells rubbing together." So that's um that scares me, Lord Bite Me, man. If it wasn't really a cop, just a guy impersonating a cop to find out what I knew because I had already been up there and yeah, I could have seen something. That's kind of scary. I don't know if it really was the cop. He was dressed as a cop. I didn't actually see the cop car. No. I want to see the Popelik Monster Bridge too. There is so many places that I want to go see. Fingers crossed I will get the money together, start doing a lot of this stuff. Evil. That's best not to visit that stuff again. No, I'm a hard-headed idiot. I'm gonna be visiting a lot more places hopefully soon, because there's like a playground attached to a cemetery in Huntsville, Alabama. So I kind of figure I'm gonna be traveling to there and investigating that stuff pretty soon. Oh, sorry. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of just experiences that I've had recently. Um, I've always been kind of weird. I've always had weird experiences since I was a little Lily. Um, I'm just kind of used to them now. Doesn't bother me as bad as it used to. But I'm trying to think. I mean, there's been 100 experiences at the clinic. Um, Sitting there getting medicine ready, and all of a sudden, just something flies out of nowhere and hits you in the back of the head, and you look and you're like, where the heck did that come from? And you're looking for coworkers who may be playing jokes on you, and it's not. And the other coworker that's standing behind you was going, and I'm like, what was that? And she was like, that was over there on the counter, and it literally just went poof and hit you in the back of the head. And I was like, did it really, or did you do it? And they were like, no, it really did happen. So um the courthouse in Selma, Alabama is haunted. 2 hours from me. 2 hours from me. Oh, okay. So the Popelik Bridge is 2 hours from you. In Selma, Alabama, I think is a, oh, sorry, a 3 or 4 hour ride for me. Which really, when you think about some of the places I've been recently, that's not a very long drive. So, mm, mm, yeah. Alright, guys, we're getting really close to the end of the live stream. I have really enjoyed this live stream. You guys have really made live streaming exciting and way more fun than it's been in a long time. Um, Again, next week I will have everything charged and ready to go. For some reason, nothing wants to stay charged today. The wind is now picking up again, so we're gonna have tornadic weather blowing on me. Trying to think. If you guys have anything you want to do during a live stream, you can always send me a message on Instagram or Twitter, and we can change things up, move things around, stories to be read, games to play, reviews you want done. Um, I have all of my house will be full this weekend, so I'm gonna try to record. Fingers crossed. Hope to goodness. My camera's trying to focus with all this wind blowing. Um, So that is on the agenda for the next so often. All right, guys. I have had a great live stream. I've enjoyed this. Like I said, leave comments below if you're watching right now or later. Comments help the algorithm gods in YouTube to shine favorably upon your girl Lily here. Any ideas that you want to do on the next live stream, shoot me messages on Twitter or Instagram. Don't forget the community tab on YouTube has lots of videos, lots of pictures, things to keep us going and strong. I'm uploading shorts to YouTube and TikTok. So either one if you prefer or YouTube, stick with YouTube. If you like TikTok, or do both. I don't mind. And you can always reach me on Twitter and Instagram. More Instagram than Twitter. But I love you guys so much. I hope you have a great and marvelous weekend. I hope the next week to come is even better for you. And we'll hopefully, fingers crossed, have a new video probably Wednesday and Thursday of this week because I was supposed to get it out before Halloween and didn't. So hopefully, fingers crossed, Wednesday and Thursday will be new videos coming up for you guys. And as always, I love you guys. I will see you in the next video. And remember, until next time, sweet dreams. Bye.